Okay, so um, the leader of the English, he's looking at the people on his boat. Remember, he's got 27,000 men, and he's looking at those men and he's saying, "Does anyone here speak French? Anyone speak French? Anyone pass off as a French person?" And there are some people there who are like, "Yeah, I'm bilingual. I got a mother who was French, and she taught me, and I kind of know." And so what he does is he gets this group of men who can speak French, and he sends them in the dark at night. And what he does is he sends them over to the cliff. Now, when you take a look at this cliff, it's like super steep, okay? But there's this little path coming down the side of the cliff that leads down to the water so that people can get like water or maybe do a little bit of a fishing. And then they can climb up this steep path. And at the bottom of this path, there is a little house of guardsmen that are there to guard the path because they don't want the English to be able to come up, right? So as long as the guardsmen are there, if the English try anything, they can sound the alarm, and then the French are going to know that the English are there at the path. So under the cover of darkness, the English come in this little boat. There's only like three or four of them, and they come speaking French, and they show up and they're like, "Hey, Jacques, let us in." And then he's like, "I'm not Jacques, I'm Henri." He's like, "Oh, it was Jacques before." And like pretending like they're French, right? They have like these French uniforms they're wearing. They look like they're French. And then the guy is like, "Oh, okay, well, you're speaking French. You must be one of us. I don't recognize you, but you're speaking French. You got the right outfit on." So the French who were guarding the bottom of this gatepost at the bottom of this cliff lets them in. And then the English, they use these silent knives and they slaughter them silently. Okay? Not a gun is banged. Okay, so there's no warning. The people at the top of the cliff, the French people at the top of the cliff, they don't know that the guard post has been breached. So there they are. It's nighttime, and the English start unloading tons of soldiers. They quietly climb up the cliff under the cover of darkness, and they line up behind the fort at the top of the cliff. There's like this field, and they're in the field now. And then the sun rises, and Montcalm, the leader of the French, he's got all of his troops on the other side of the fort by the shoreline, ready to fight the English on the shoreline. And he looks behind him as the sun rises, and he sees this huge wave of English soldiers at the top of in the field at the top of the field there. And he's like, "Oh no!" So now the French are in the tough position because the English are already lined up in that line and they're ready to fire their guns. And the French have to come running. They have to come running from the shoreline. They got to regroup. They got to meet in the field of battle here at the top of this field at the top of the cliff. And there's a huge battle. And during this battle, Montcalm is fatally wounded, and he dies. And the leader, Wolfe, he's the leader of the English. He also dies. Both of these men are both like fighting with their troops, and they both die. And at the end of the day, the French lose and the English win. And so the English end up taking the Quebec. They take this fort at Quebec, and then the people who are living in New France, they're just like farmers, right? They're like the habitants, the seigneurs, the townsfolk. They're not fighters, right? So as soon as that those military men that are English take over and they win that victory, they have won all of New France. And this is a huge turning point. Quebec, this Battle of Quebec changes everything. Now, New France is no longer a colony of France. It is captured and it becomes a British colony. It is the end of a French colony in this area forever. And they never get it back again. And that is the end of chapter 3. So we have gone through all that material. Okay, so I hope everything makes sense to you guys. And I'm going to just turn this video off right now. And thank you.